What's up, you little... Listen, I gotta tell you some stuff, but I just got back here, been doing a whole lot of stuff. Sorry I haven't been streaming. I went out of town to drop off Ashley. Trying to get everything around here taken care of. It's been snowing the past couple days, and I just wanted to get back into what we were discussing with all of this drone stuff. I know some of you guys have a really small attention span. You're probably not going to stay here through this whole video because I'm planning to incorporate a lot of the video from the live streams I've done in the past week. So what I'll do is I'll put that stuff towards the end of the video for those of you guys who are in a rush. But let me just get right into showing you what's going on and where I'm at with this whole project. Check this out. Well, hang on a second. Forgot I tied this thing up. What if I just use a Velcro strap? That might be easier. Okay, we'll worry about that later. Here's the mini 5-inch drone that I was showing you guys that I started building. I know it looks a little bit different than it did the last time I showed it on stream, and that's because I took it all apart, rebuilt it, and kind of hid everything on the inside so that nothing's sticking out, except for the battery, which I also moved with the top mount, and if I want to bottom mount it, I can do that as well. Don't worry about the tape stuff going on here. I'll show you why I did that later. I just did that for now because I took it out today to go on a little bit of a flight, which I'll show you in a few minutes. I didn't want my antennas flying off because it was really windy, and I did knock it off one other day, so I just wanted to make sure if it did get knocked off, it wasn't going to get lost. I'm going to go ahead and just put a link in the description so you guys can see all the parts that are in this. Disregard that last video I made, kind of, sort of, because a lot of those parts that I showed in the last video I returned, and I ended up changing the way that I went about doing this so that it would work better for what I'm doing. I did run into some problems, which we'll talk about in a second too. So just really quick, without you having to go look up whatever is in here, I'll just tell you. These are the Emax 2205 2300 kV motors. I've got the Hadouken, just kidding, whatever, I'll put it on the screen. It's a HDV flight stack. It's a 4-in-1 ESC in there with the flight controller. It's running beta flight at the moment, the latest update, which is like 4.1 point something or another. It's got the DJI air unit in it for the camera system. Oh yeah, and then I ordered antennas. I got the ones that did not have the right angle. They're just coming out straight out of the air unit. I do still have the other ones. They're fine. They didn't break or anything. I just wanted to make sure I had extras. That way I'm not out of commission if anything does happen to one of them. As you can see here, rookie mistake, antenna got mangled. I had the antennas mounted up and I was flying it and I crash landed, and then one of the props hit it and chopped it up. The other one was just fine, and believe it or not, I actually flew really far with the antennas like this. It's an iFlight. I think this is a 255 frame. Okay, I'll put it up on the screen. You know, no GPS, none of that stuff at the moment. Okay, so this is the little 5-inch one. I'll show you some footage from it, and I'll explain to you how I'm going about this and all the problems I've ran into and where I'm at. The next one I'll show you is the Pixhawk, which I want to use for automation. So this one is the actual first build that you guys watched me do. It was living inside of the DJI frame in the past, but I switched it over to the S500 frame, which you guys saw me unboxing in the last video. Here's what's going on with this. First of all, this last flight I just did, I knocked the GPS stand off of it, which I 3D printed with the badass new printer that I showed you guys in the video as well, the Ender 5. It's definitely come in handy for this project because I've been breaking a lot of parts. Damn, I have a whole lot to show you guys. Just to give you a quick recap on what this is running if you haven't been watching the live streams, it's the PX4. I think this is like the first Pixhawk, right? One of the first versions, because they have newer ones now. I just got like a kit that came with all of the components so I could do this. It can hold this big ass battery I got. I think it's a 5500 milliamp hour. It's a 5000 milliamp hour 100C battery. I got the tri-blade props on here. And this is the M8N GPS module, and what you guys have told me in chat, it's pretty much all 3DR stuff, right? So I apologize right now if I say anything incorrectly. Feel free to correct me in the comments below. It's just, this is the first time I'm working with all this stuff, so just bear with me while I try to explain what I'm doing and what I got here. At least for those of you guys who are familiar with this stuff will know what it is when I mention it. I've got a PDB in there, power distribution board, which I will put up on the screen for you guys. I decided to put the analog camera on this one. This is a Caddx camera. I'll talk to you guys about my whole idea with this. Let me just show you what I've got going on now, and then maybe we can discuss whatever the best solutions are. And then the motors are Ready to Sky 2212 920 kV motors. These are carbon fiber. The frame is carbon fiber. This is actually pretty cool. I like the way that they did this bottom board here, because you can actually mount all of your stuff right on there and use it as a power distribution board. The one that I'm actually using has capabilities of doing more, so I wanted to use that one instead, and I ended up taking the stuff that I was soldering on this one off. And I guess the VTX down here, I'll also put that in on the screen for you guys, so you guys can see exactly what I'm using. Anyway, that's basically what I'm running on this thing. All right. Now, those are the drones, and now I want to talk to you guys about what I'm trying to do with this whole thing. I did have some footage that I didn't include in the original video about this, but let me show you some of the other stuff that I had going on to get this all working. The intention is to live stream the footage from these things IRL, right? Whether it's analog or digital, I wanted to prove that it could be done. So I decided to go with a couple different systems here to make it happen, and I just want to kind of explain how it's even all connected and how it all works, so that maybe when I explain the problems I'm having, some of those of you who may have had more experience with this can tell me how to solve it. For the analog, we got that working. I've already proven that this can all be done because I've shown it on live stream. All worked out pretty cool, but there's a couple of problems that I've ran into, and that's kind of what we'll get into after I show you all of the stuff that I used to make it happen. Maybe some of you guys have a solution that I haven't thought of yet. So another two items that really helped make this happen was I got an analog video receiver. This one's great because it's got 2 video outs, and then it's a 12-volt power supply, so I can just keep this directly plugged in and out my window to receive the video if I just want to fly around like the house, let's say. So on the day that I tested this out and showed that it was working, I did quite a few different flights here, so you can get an idea of kind of what it looks like when I'm flying live, and maybe it'll give you guys some other ideas. All right, I'm going.
Keep going.
Nope. Nope, I'm cutting it.
Oh, shit.
It's turned off. It's turned around. I gotta flip it. Yeah, that would have been dumb if I was flying backwards. Let's try that again. Sorry if it's get too shaky for some of you guys, but I'm just testing it out, trying to see what it can do. Well, I guess this will work. Shit, that looks way better. Yeah, that looks way better, right? I'll have her come in, and then I'll fly it. I'm gonna fly it real quick just to get it up in the air and see what the video looks like. And then when I land it, we'll go to the park. It's gonna be a little dark out there, but whatever.
Lots less latency.
Oh yeah, latency's way better, watch. Compared to the DJI. Look at. See, it's like a second maybe. Not. It's not good enough for me to fly off of. Yeah, it's not good enough for me to fly off of, so I can't really get close to things, but it's not that bad. Definitely better than the laggy ass DJI, right? Because the DJI was working off of the phone network. This is analog video, so it's going directly to this little receiver here. Well, now I messed it up, but yeah, there's a receiver here that's plugged into analog capture device on my computer, and then I have it running. When I run a live stream with RTMP, I run it through an Nginx server. So then you can have like so many cameras together. So the plan is to attach the live view to this thing, but I have to make sure that when it's built to carry it, that it can handle it. And right now, when I go full throttle, it's not moving fast enough for me to put something that heavy on it. So I don't know if I just need to build like a different motor system on it or what, but I'll figure that out later once it's tuned. But first, for now, let's have some fun, right? We got motor. Okay. And we're up. We got liftoff. Yeah, it's pitching forward
What
a lot.
S up drove? How's the drone going?
It's going. Oh, wind. Lots of wind. Yeah, it's trying to compensate for the wind blowing, so it's a little shaky. Wind's blowing hard. You can see it in the trees.
RV Trip 5 is coming to stay at your house. See other swim pool. I can't wait when you start doing backflips and spins and 0G stops in the air, then free fall dives.
Yeah, I know, right? Alright, I killed it. Alright, we're gonna go out. We're gonna go. Don't worry. I landed it, okay? Alright, little lady. Whew! That was a little nerve-wracking. Let me see how that looked. So, with that flight, I basically have half the battery left with those few flights and me testing everything else. So that's not too bad. That means I could have stayed up for that much time doubled. I wasn't really flying crazy either because it's not as responsive as I want it to be, so I have to be really careful with it. But we'll go out and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. But I want to try the little one FPV. I just needed more of a wide open area to go do it at, because yesterday doing it here was very sketchy. So you having fun watching the cars? There's a really cool set of bleachers over there too at the park, so it'd be kind of dope to, like, once I get it all situated where I trust it and I can actually fly it around that, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. It's really pretty over there, and if it falls on the bleachers I can just go pick it up because it's all open. I don't know how the signals are going to hold up with all of that, but I would assume they'd be not too bad, but who knows with all that metal if it causes any kind of interference flying through there.
Is one with the drone. Oh yay. Such a shame we can't see FPV.
What's FPV?
First person.
Oh.
Fly away.
Fly away. Yeah. Yeah.
Get closer.
Okay.
Go right behind Dro.
I can't. I have Luna. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see all that. That's far.
pretty decent for using this on Livestream.
Yeah. Get down.
Just like the simulator.
It's close.
Ah! Okay.
Got him.
Got him.
Is that interesting?
You did good. I don't know how well you could see it in the dark, but
yeah, it's kind of sucks. I'm gonna have to do this during the daytime, like for me to be able to fly further away.
look
And
at
I'll
him
do it
move.
over there where I can see more, but it sucks because as soon as you go right over there where it's dark, the camera like starts getting really staticky looking because it's trying to compensate for the darkness.
Okay, I fly it. No, just kidding.
You want to fly it? You can fly it.
I just wanna go a very small. I just wanna go up and then land.
Well, faster than I expected.
Yeah, it's fast.
But whatever you do, don't bring the throttle all the way down real fast. If you get it high, just slowly bring it down.
Okay, because then it'll crash down, right?
It'll stop moving left and right as soon as you get it up and running.
Why?
Because it doesn't have like anything controlling it to stay still. You have to control it to stay still. So this is, remember, left, right, forward, back.
I can't do this.
You can do this.
I can't do
You can do this. But I have it in horizontal mode like you played in the game. So if you do absolutely nothing but go up a little bit, it'll slowly go up, okay? But it's going to start probably drifting, so then you'll have to correct very lightly, like barely, because it's really sensitive right now. I trust you, because all you're going to do is you're just going to go slowly up and raise the throttle really slow, okay? And then you'll see it start kind of twitching a bit because it's about to lift off, and give it a little bit more and it'll come up off the ground. If you get scared and it starts drifting, wait till it's over the grass and put it down, but don't go up real high or anything like that. But you got this. You can do this FPV because you got your FPV right there.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna take it off. This one right here, if you flip it up or down, it'll kill the motors completely. So if you freak out, you can always hit that up or down. It'll kill
What does
it.
up do? Oh,
On this,
yeah.
Up or down will kill it.
Either
In the
either
middle,
or.
it won't. So right now it's in the middle because we're gonna get ready to put it in arm mode. So here we go. No more. All right, wait, stop. Don't do anything. Let me turn it around for you.
Okay.
You ready? No? You want? Tell me when.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, you're good. You got this. All right, just hold it down. When you go to bring this up, try to keep it centered because if you veer a little to the left or right, you're going to be turning.
I'm not ready.
It's okay. It's not on yet.
Okay.
So what I was trying to explain to you is
I know.
because that's why it started veering to the right, because when you were going up and to the right, which
was
is okay.
shaking.
Yeah, it's okay. I know it's a lot. It's a lot. But you got this. If it breaks a prop or something, I'm not going to cry about it. Don't worry. I have plenty more. So I'm not worried about you crashing it. I just don't want you to send it yet.
To the moon.
Not yet. But soon you can. Okay.
When?
Okay. All right.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
All right. Slowly bring the throttle up, and then until you get it to hover, you can bring it up a little more if you see it shaking. Up, up, up. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Put it in the grass. Put it in the grass. You're good. You're good. High five. I hope the stream caught that. Hold on. We're going to do it again.
Okay.
What does that mean?
It's going to kill itself. Good girl. Stay here, okay? Down. Down. All the way. Good girl. Good girl. Stay here, okay? Stay. Okay.
Necking meant making
No. Not now. It doesn't mean making out. All right. You're good. Good job, good job.
Why is it still going?
Hang on.
Oh, why is it still going?
Come here. Yeah, the settings are still not perfect, so that's why I was saying it's a little twitchy still. I have to tune it. Good job. Can you bring it back? No? Just hit the switch, yeah. If you see it going like this to the left or the right, you know, just fix it a little bit. Just go.
So this is left and right, and this is
it's
down
not,
and up?
So it's not.
Confused.
It's because you got to think in 3D. So it's like you've got throttle, which is not just up and down. It is also going to help you with speed. So throttle is what you're doing. You're giving it motor. So the faster you spin it, the more speed you're going to give it, but you're also going to lift up, right? But if you point the drone this way, it's going to start moving forward because the wind's kind of pushing back. Right, and then you'll tip it the other way.
So this is forward.
Yeah, so if you go, yeah, if you push up on that one, you're going to go forward. And left and right, but you're going to go left and right like this. You're not going to turn. You're going to just go like this.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you ready? Yeah. Okay. There you go. You're up. You good? Yeah. Here, I'll bring it back. Here, hold her and go over by the rock. Good job, though, for never flying them. You got it up in the air, and you didn't go ramming into anything. Damn, this thing's so fast. Okay, now, so I already tested this out, and I just know it's got to be kind of tuned at this point. I'm going to plug the other one in real quick.
You try different props with higher pitch, it will make it faster or slower.
I have different props to try out, but maybe it's best I just do it during the day so I can really tell the difference. Honestly, I can probably just unplug the video thing. I can't really get to it. Fuck it. I'm doing it without for now. See, this one, the throttle's not as responsive. Like, it's got a lag time to it. And it's on a Pixhawk, so I gotta figure that out, the lag time. But, watch, I'll give it full throttle. And I'll show you what it does. I'll tell you when. Alright. And let me wait till this wind stops. Alright, and full throttle. That was full throttle. So it could just be the weight for these props and motors and whatever, everything. Maybe I could put the other battery on it and see if the other battery is faster. You know? But it's responsive on roll axis. Eyes are, look, it's not really correcting properly though. Yeah. It's quiet. So quiet with these props. These are the carbon fiber tri-props, so I think the DJI ones are a lot louder. See, it's got like a weird bounce it does. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. When it stops itself, it bounces. So that's a tuning thing for sure. Like into its own prop wash. All right, let me land it real quick. Okay, so most of you guys already know this thing here is, you know, it's a video receiver. People can use this as a ground station video receiver and the secondary out. So you could essentially have like a monitor and a pair of goggles on at the same time while receiving the video using this. I got this thing. It was really dirt cheap. Like I said, link in the description if you want to find out more about it. And then the other item that really helped me with this was this thing here. Cloner Box Evolve. So I ended up getting this thing a while back because I have all of these tapes I wanted to digitize. So I got this thing and it used to give me like a whole lot of problems, but I figured out a way to get this thing to work really good for this project, and that's great. This thing can also be used as a digital in, so if you have something with HDMI that you want to put in through here, you can do that as well. So it's got analog and HDMI, and it can also act as a switcher. So if you have multiple feeds going, you can switch between them. There's a remote control that comes with it. You can basically just switch the inputs. So some of you guys who are FPV pilots who do racing, you could essentially have somebody in the pit with some sort of gear like this with a laptop, and you can use other gear that I'll show you in a bit just to do like your own production on your YouTube channel while you're doing races that is going to be specific to your YouTube channel and not like the overall race. So if people wanted to go watch and donate while you were racing, your whole crew or team could help manage all of this. And it's really not that hard to put all together, but there's a lot of steps and it's time consuming, which is why most people won't do this. But for those of you who are just bored like me and have the time to do this kind of stuff, and then maybe you can come up with some really badass ideas to use this with. Okay, so that's what I used for receiving the analog that you guys saw on the flights, but the whole point of this is to be able to fly FPV 1080p at 60 digital, nice, badass, stabilized footage, all of that with very minimal latency, and I've proven that can happen too, but it's just a matter of getting the products that will make this work correctly together. So I decided to go with the DJI system, as you guys already probably have noticed. Here's where I ran into the biggest problem. I went online and I started searching for the best way to possibly get the footage from the DJI to you guys on Livestream. And I found this product here, which is the DJI AVL 58, which is a video receiver. And it's actually got a transmitter too with it, so you can hook it up to your quad or with a camera. You know, like if you had probably like a DSLR or something, you could probably hook something like this up to it and stream the footage yourself. Everything I saw online when I was looking for this seemed to point to the fact that this would work, because like I saw these videos that people had posted that had a button for linking the units, and I thought, oh, it could just go ahead and link to the air unit and probably receive its footage, right? They're both DJI. Why wouldn't DJI make it work like that if it's able to receive and put out digital signals? So then I bought the product, I tried it out. Long story short, it didn't work, and I'm gonna go ahead and return it at this point because I really don't have a use for it. And I was basically expecting to do the same thing that I did with the analog footage, but with the DJI Air unit. Now, I did go onto the DJI Reddit, and somebody responded to me on there saying that it's not doable and that there is no way to get the footage that the Goggle sees onto another device like a computer, and not even a ground station. So it just doesn't make any sense, because I could pull out my iPad and the Phantom 3 4K, and that thing will stream right through the iPad. So why the hell wouldn't they make a way that you could see the air unit, except for the goggles? So with the goggles, there's no video out, right? So there's no way to actually view it, but apparently they have something that's being worked on to do this. I thought that maybe the transmitter would have an HDMI out, but I don't even think that does. So it's kind of confusing to me as to why they wouldn't have done this, unless they're just trying to get extra money for a new product that they'll put out sometime, hopefully this year. If the goggles can get the footage, then how come we can't take the footage from the goggles and put it on a monitor? If you guys have any idea if there even is a possible way to do it, just let me know. And then we'll look into that as an option. Okay, fine. So the DJI Air unit, the goggles at the moment, it's not going to be possible to live stream from what I'm gathering unless you guys do have a solution for that. There's always the option of mounting like an analog camera to it and being able to stream that. But that'd be the same as just building an analog quad, and it would be less weight than having that on there, and you could probably get even better quality footage if you just strap like a GoPro to it or the Sony Action Cam. So I am going to strap my Sony Action Cam from my live stream bag to this one and fly it and see what kind of footage I can get, because everybody's always flying a Session or a Hero, and I never see anybody really flying the Sony camera. I'm sure there's multiple reasons for that I'll find out once I do it. But I feel like the mechanical stabilization of the lens will look way better. So, of course, I wanted to fly that thing, but in high def, and the only way to really do it is to get the live view in the air at the moment from what I'm thinking. So I can do that still, right? And I'll explain how that will all work. But that thing's gonna have to fly on this thing, which I took the time to tune. I'll put a video up here for you guys so you can see the night that I was on stream tuning this thing outside. I'll have to check in the software what flight mode 1 was, but it was very hairy on the throttle, and I've been talking about that a lot on live stream, where I felt like it wasn't very responsive. But then I flipped it down to, I think it was the maybe altitude hold, or maybe even auto level mode. I'll have to see. And it flew way better. So yeah, it was flying really good today on that mode, but for some reason on the other modes I had it on, it flew kind of awkward. But now I have a little bit of a better understanding on the tuning. I think I know how to fix the problems that I'm having. So that's going to be my test for tomorrow, is to fix some of these issues that I'm seeing and then getting these guys back up in the air. So the Pixhawk drone, I want to carry heavier stuff, which is why, you know, I chose this after talking to a couple of you guys, and you given me the suggestion to maybe even go with this or the NASA and a couple others. I decided to go with this one, and it does have the GPS, so I feel more comfortable with it in the air with that kind of equipment. I haven't tested flying it with the live view yet, but I did show you guys here exactly how much all that is gonna weigh. An extra 2 pounds, I think this can carry it with no problem. But if I do have issues, I'm gonna look into going with the one frame size up and maybe even making a hexa, because then at that point, it's not gonna have any issues lifting what I wanted to lift. If I get the live view flying on this thing, then I'll do a live stream where I show you guys what it's going to look like and how the footage is going to have way better quality for live than trying to do something like this with an analog camera. And oh my god, I can't wait till the day that I can do that. I'm just really scared about just strapping it on to this thing and sending it, because I don't really have the money right now to just replace it if it drops out of the sky. We're gonna wait till we can do it correctly. It's going to stream from the live view to my Nginx server, and then my Nginx server is sending that footage to OBS, and then in OBS I have like a video source there that can capture the input from the RTMP stream of the Nginx server. It grabs the footage and will live stream it directly through OBS wherever you send it, whether it's YouTube or Twitch or wherever you decide to live stream your flights. It does have about a second or two of latency, so you can't really fly FPV with the view of the camera, because you got to remember, the camera is sending the footage to the transcoder, the live view. The live view is then bonding all of the signals of how many ever modems you have attached at an LRT server. That server is then sending it to my Nginx, or your Nginx if you have it set up. I'll do a video later to show you guys how to set all that stuff up. If you guys are curious and you want to see how to set that up, just leave a comment down below. There's been other tutorials online on how to do it, but even when I tried to set it up originally, I had some troubles and I didn't really know where to go for help. So I can probably help you guys if you let me know if you have any trouble. If it's anything that I run into, I can at least let you know from experience how I fixed it. So you're going to expect some sort of latency, but for a second or two of latency, maybe sometimes like 8 seconds, 9 seconds of latency, that's still not that bad for a live stream. I mean, if you could imagine that somebody is doing a race and they're being videotaped by, a camera, and then they have the view from the quad on screen while he's flying through these little gaps and everything, the commentator audio is going to be coming through at the same time that it's going to be live with everything else. So I think it's going to match up pretty close. There might be something where he's like, oh, he crashed, and then you see the crash like a few seconds later, like maybe 2-3 seconds later. That really isn't that bad of latency compared to what I've seen happening when you're trying to live stream from a DJI drone on like a tablet. So yeah, this is way more complicated of a setup, but you can do really cool professional things with it, right? I'm gonna build this thing to carry the live view. I'm thinking about using the 3D printer to build something that I can just mount here on the bottom. There are these mounts here, these tube mounts that I can attach it to. I did 3D print another part for that. This one here has the grips for those pipes, and then it's got the holes underneath for me to go ahead and just screw it into the bottom part of the frame. And right now I've got these parts here that hold the legs. Actually, I'll go get the legs because I haven't really shown you how it looks with the legs on. I still have a lot of learning to do when it comes to building my own parts on the 3D designs. So this one doesn't have like a very perfect fit for this quad, but I think it was made to work for multiple different frames. Another thing I printed out was the bottom part that holds the legs, and I printed it out with like 20% infill and low quality at first, and they broke very easily. But it is really cold outside right now because it's winter and it's been snowing and everything's really freezing, so parts are going to break easy as it is. Most people don't even fly in the winter, but I want to have this stuff all ready to go by summer, so we could do some cool stuff with it. Anyway, I reprinted out these parts again a few days later with, I think I did like 50 or 60% infill. I'll have to check. So this is what it looks like with the legs mounted. I showed my brother a picture of these, and he actually said he likes this one the best. Here you go. Let's pretend that didn't come off, and there you have it. That's what it looks like with the legs. I'll go ahead and set it down here for a second. Yeah, pretty nice, right? So these are the little top mount pieces that, well, as you can see there, I glued it all back together. It actually works at the moment. It holds together, but it won't take a very hard hit to the ground before it just snaps again. So I'm not even going to use these pieces right now. So this is the bottom part that holds the bottom of the feet. Look at how tiny that is in comparison to this beefy monster that we printed. So it still has the same exact mounting holes, so it fits exactly the same. Just don't mind my cat in the background trying to steal the show. You can see the difference. This one's definitely more robust and will last longer for you. But I do recommend possibly doing 100%, or maybe not even 100% infill, but just something higher up there in the numbers that it'll have more density to hold together. So yeah, these just mount normally like this. Yeah, this is the bottom, and then this is the top here. So yeah, it takes up less space and probably, yeah, weighs less. But if you do happen to break it and you want to build something a little bit more indestructible, these are probably a good start. All right, now don't do this, okay? But this is what I did, and I'm going to make use of the 3D printer for this as well. But I basically took the power connector out of the inside of the Phantom, and I put it here into the DJI battery, and I taped it so that originally when I was just flying with these batteries while testing, before I got these newer batteries in, I was taping this connector I made. So I soldered an XT60 connector with some wires onto the DJI connector, and I put this on the battery, taped it up so that it wouldn't come out of the socket while I was flying from any vibrations or anything. Obviously the tape was way better on there when I first put it on. And then the cool thing about using this as the battery is I was able to plug it in and keep it plugged in while I was setting some things up. And then when I'm ready to fly, all I have to do is turn on the battery. Voila, now it's powered. But I can just turn the power back off. And it's an easy way to power the drone on and off without having to constantly plug batteries in and out. I'm sure there's probably already a better solution out there for this. I was even able to put the DJI battery onto the little drone. Usually actually what I did was, I did it this way, where the connector came out of the bottom. Oh my god, DJI is gonna fucking kill me. Put it like this so that the heavier part is over by the head where like, I figured it would be kind of like mounting a GoPro up there, and then this would just connect around the bottom to the battery so that it wouldn't hit the props, and I would strap it down nice and tight. Right now it's not really in there properly. I would center it, put it on there tight enough. It actually worked. I did some flights around with it. I didn't go too crazy, obviously. It's great. These batteries are great. They last such a long time in comparison to the other ones, it seems. And also, I like the fact that I can just look at the dots here and I can see exactly how much battery is left by just flying the drone in front of me and looking at the back of it. I even flew this little one with this big ass battery. I mean, I wasn't doing crazy flips or tricks or anything like that, which I'm pretty sure could probably handle it, but I didn't do that. I just basically had it to like fly around and test out and have a longer flight time. And I even have the little 450 milliamp hour batteries, the 4S ones that were made for the beta FPV. They're little scene whoops that they have. I didn't want to wait till the end of January to get something that I ordered in December. So I just canceled it, but the batteries came in. So I decided to keep them because I could use them for other stuff and testing. So they're little batteries and they're very lightweight. So I hooked it up to this and it did fly okay, but of course you only get a few minutes of flight with that. So I'll do a separate video on my initial thoughts about all this stuff and what maybe I would recommend for people who are just trying to get into it like me and trying to learn about all this stuff, because I did make some mistakes coming into it, and I figure if I can help some of you guys avoid that, it'll probably save you guys some money. Luckily, I was able to return, all the stuff that I got that didn't work out for me. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at with this project. I do plan on doing some more live streams soon here with this so I can show you guys. I did some other really cool flights that I'll show you guys in a minute here. There's so much that I want to show and leave as a public video because my live streams are so goddamn long. It's very hard to put them together and try to edit all of them, and I don't have an editor, so for me it's like I just do it as I have the time, and when I'm done messing around with this stuff. So I want to share what I'm doing with some of you guys, and maybe it'll give you an idea of something cooler that can be done with this, and maybe nobody gives a shit and I'm just wasting my time, but at least I'm having fun, and that's all that matters to me at the moment anyway, right? At least I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and I'm hoping you guys are enjoying watching this journey too into this madness of getting my live view falling out of the sky at 120 miles an hour. We'll get to that later. So let me show you some of the quick flights I did where I was just kind of testing everything that I have together so far, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And don't forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed all the stuff I'm showing here. Subscribe if you're new here. And dude, thank you guys so much that are still a part of my Patreon. I know I don't really have a lot of people who support me on Patreon. A lot of you guys have moved over to either supporting me here on YouTube directly or doing donations during my streams. I really appreciate that. That's why I left these up above, because you guys are awesome and you've been helping me out with all this stuff. Oh yeah, there's one more thing I wanted to mention that I forgot. The DJI goggles actually come with this cable for the power supply, and I ended up getting the Furious FPV Smart Power Case, and I put like a little bit of Velcro on the back to strap it to the goggles. There's a couple things that I found that I have really big issues with. For one, every power cable that I've put so far into the DJI goggles end up coming out very easily. Now, I don't know if it's something on the power input hole that's got some sort of issue, or if it's all of these that don't have the little metal thing on the inside pinching down hard enough. Something's going on, but it really does pop out a little too easy. Like the slightest bit of movement on the wire and it pops out to the point where it actually unplugs it and you lose power in your goggles. I feel like that could be really unsafe. So why is this happening? For the amount that these goggles and the system costs, you would think a little problem like this would have been solved at the beginning. So when this thing works, it works great, right? Other than the fact that even just moving the goggles a little bit makes it come unplugged. I think that's a problem of the goggles though, not having anything to do with this device. But the reason why I got this is, for one, it's a smaller little battery pack that I can keep up on connected to the goggles on the side of my head, and it takes two 18650 batteries, which I have. So there was quite a few times where I had this plugged in and it came unplugged, and then I would go to turn this back on and I would keep hitting the button and nothing would happen. So then I would have to open up the case and I would like roll the batteries around, and then I would try it again, and then all of a sudden it would come on. So then I thought maybe the little prongs in here that touch the battery, maybe they weren't touching the battery enough. So I pulled them out a little bit just so that they had a little bit of a higher spring, and then, you know, the battery maybe would fit a little tighter and it wouldn't have a problem with the connection. But no, I still had the same issue. So I did contact the company I bought this from, and they are going to send me another one. I'm going to go ahead and send this one back to them tomorrow. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that because I don't know if anybody else has been having that issue with this smart case, but yeah, I had that issue, and I would sit there hitting the button, nothing would happen, it wouldn't power on, and I kept removing and putting the batteries back in, and then all of a sudden it would work again. And maybe it's something I'm doing wrong or something I haven't set up correctly, but anyway, it would just probably be better for me to just exchange it for another one, and if I have the same issue again, then it's probably something I'm doing wrong. Anyway, yeah, just wanted to add that to the video. Enjoy the rest. Flying little brat right now. I'm going to test out some of the settings. I don't have a lot of light left today, and see if we got video here at all. It's really snowy out right now. Everything's frozen over and wet, and it's probably not the best idea to do this right now and test this out, but I don't want to do it inside my house, so we're going to do it out here. Wish me luck. Alright, I don't even know if I'm binded right now, so I gotta check that real quick. This stupid plug comes unplugged so easy. I fucking hate it. It's honestly one of the things I hate the most about these goggles. Alright, there we go. We got props, and we're gonna go ahead for a quick flight. Like I said, wish me luck. I'll go ahead and just take a quick flight around the van, see if we can hold up signal from inside the van, since it's a big metal open box, and then maybe I'll try and land it here. I should probably put this around me. Whoa! Around me. Whoa! I hit throttle by accident, and the thing went flying. Let's bring it back. Oh yeah, I changed all the settings too with my rates, so I don't know how we're flying right now, but I'll go ahead and land it. Alright, so there's no one around. It's all completely open here. The minimum throttle, I took it up because I didn't want it to fall as fast, and I'm hoping that's going to help me at least for now. I'll take it down later so I can do faster falls. But let's go ahead on a quick flight and just see how this thing does. If I fail safe, hopefully I fail safe close to the ground because it's all wet and snowy, and I don't have conformal coating on anything yet. Let's fly in stability right now just to make sure this thing is okay, because I know it's a little bit windy. Alright, enough talking. Let's do this.
Flight mode 2, flight mode 1.
There we go. Alright. We're recording, and let's go for a flight around the van real quick. Alright, everything's really touchy right now. It seems to have a little bit of bounce. There's some power lines up there I gotta watch out for, but let's fly over here. So if we do fail safe and fall, I can easily go into this field here and pick it up. But I just want to do some quick flights here. See what we can do. Oh yeah, we're in stabilized mode, so I can't do any flips right now. Alright, this might be good enough for me to go ahead and start testing out with doing a couple of flips and stuff. I don't think my RSSI is reading correctly. Because it doesn't ever drop at all. It's just staying at 99. So I'm going to have to take a look at that. There's still a little bit of wobble here, as you can see. But overall, it's not too bad. Alright, let's stay over here because this is where the camera's pointing in this area. And let's put it into, let's say, horizontal mode. So now I can do some flips. Let's go up a little bit. It's starting to snow. Let's go up here. Try not to fail safe. And I'll do a quick flip here to test it out. Alright, cool. Ooh, line. I'm gonna have to learn this area a little bit so we don't hit any branches or any power lines or anything, but let's see if we can go around here. I don't want to go too far away from the van just yet. Cool. Nice. Alright, now we're talking. Alright, battery's looking a little low, maybe because it's cold. Well, it's starting to get low quick anyway. This is the 45C battery. It's a smaller one, so I don't have as much weight. It's a little bit of flip. Let's see if we can do a back flip. Right before we hit the ground. Let's flip over. Alright. Whew. This is interesting. I'm glad it's flying pretty decent, even with the wind and the snow and everything else. This is so much fun. Alright, I don't really know how far I can go yet, so I'm going to have to stay kind of close, but let me go ahead and bring it in over here, because it's starting to snow a little bit harder. I just need to take the goggles off and double check what's going on, so I don't fry the board or anything. Oops, that was a little hard of a fall, but hey, we got it. Alright, we're right here. Wow, it's starting to snow really hard. I should probably hurry up and try and finish this. Everything looks okay right now. Man, this sucks. It's starting to snow kind of hard, so I can't really just like wing it. But maybe let me just switch the battery out real quick. Put in the 100C, and let's see how that does real quick, and then we'll get out of here before it gets too wet. Maybe I'll test this Pixhawk real quick too, and then we'll get going. Let me grab the other battery. I'm gonna put this pack on there right now. We'll see how this does. That was not bad though. Not bad for a first flight outside of where my house is, you know? Because I've been flying near my house only. I don't even know, this is really not a good idea, but I just want to get some footage of the snow. So let's see if it's possible with this. Whew, my hands. Frozen, frozen, frozen. Alright, flight number 2. Wish me luck that I don't burn out anything with the snow. Switch into acro mode real quick to do a couple. Yeah, it's leaning backwards a lot, so I'm gonna have to fix that. Alright, we're in acro mode. slow here. Maybe we'll go around the bleachers a little bit. We are still in macro mode. Let's see if I can do this little gap here. I don't know if there's anything in my way, but we'll find out real quick, huh? Nice. See if we can go around here without fail-safe. One of my antennas is clipped because I'm an idiot and I made a rookie mistake. And I kept my batteries tethered incorrectly. So when the drone fell, the props hit the antenna. Ooh, that was close. Alright, I'm flying really sloppy, but you know, this is my first time really flying this thing in acro. I don't really know what it's capable of can do. But let's see. It's not too bad, right? See if we can go through here without fail-safing. Since I'm in the van, yeah. Nice. Cool little flight here. I see there's a lot of power lines I gotta watch out for. Whoa. That was a little wonky of a front flip. Let's go around here. Let's see if we can go around these this little area right here without fail-safing. That's not bad. Alright, cool. Still not seeing anything as far as dropping out on the video, you know. Oh, that's kind of nice. Wind's pushing me a little bit. Let's go around these bleachers again here this way. It's amazing how far I can go, even with the cheap quality stuff that I got in here at the moment. I don't have any crossfire or any of that kind of stuff yet. But I'm still able to fly this thing pretty nicely. Battery's starting to go a little, but still good. Let's do a nice little flyby with past the van right now. Maybe my cell phone will pick it up. I like this battery pack. Oop, we crashed it. Alright, let's go pick it up. Whew, that was fun. Alright, we got some snow on it, so it's time to call it quits for now. Make sure everything's dry before I plug it back in. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and fly the Pixhawk, but I don't have any way to record the footage from the camera right now, so I'm not going to fly at FPV or anything. I just want to see how it handles and does well, if it does well in acro mode and the other two modes that I have on here right now. I've already done the stabilization auto tune, so it's ready to just do a little bit of a quick test flight. I want to see how fast it flies and what it can handle. I haven't really tried it yet. Snow is kind of dying down a little bit, so let's see if this thing works. I'll go ahead and put this battery on it since it's got a lot of weight, because I'm hoping that maybe it can help giving me a little bit of a better representation of what it'll be like when I stick the live view on this thing. So it does need to be able to carry some weight, and when I do stick the live view, I might stick some batteries that are not as heavy. Now, since I can't really do the video flight, I think I'm just going to go ahead and unplug the video transmitter here, because there's no reason for me to keep it in. I just need it to stay in place for a few minutes, jeez. Alright, let's see how this guy reacts, and then tonight I think I'm going to mess with the colors on the LEDs down here, because all four ended up being blue. I did that by accident, and I really need them to be different colors so I know which way I'm facing when I'm flying. Let me go ahead and put this guy down. His legs are going to end up falling off, so I'm going to take him off real quick just to make it easier. I don't have him screwed in at the moment, so. Since my cell phone died, I'm going to go ahead and just put this camera out here. And we're going to hope that this captures what we need. Hit altitude hold on. That's not bad. It's moving a little bit forward, but I think because that's the battery weight. I don't think I have acro mode on here right now. I'll have to check what flight mode 2 is, but it seems like throttle's a bit more responsive in flight mode 2. Oh, it's dancing. I don't think it can hold its weight that well, but okay. Let's come back a little bit. We'll fly it over here near us so the camera can see it. Definitely moving forward a lot. Handles pretty nicely though, to be honest. I think the third mode on here, flight mode, is probably auto-tune, so I'm not going to mess with that right now. Oops. I want to keep that battery out of the ground so we don't have a short with the snow. Damn, I can't wait to get the telemetry working on this thing though. For all that weight, it definitely picks it up pretty nicely when it's falling. We can send it away real quick. Get the exhaust ones also blowing. Damn, this thing flies so fast. Can't wait to do it FPV, but damn, no legs too. I knocked the GPS module off. It was just glued on. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up now. We're going to go home, and I'll go ahead and put this video together. It's getting dark anyway. All right, see you guys in a minute.